Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, the new Grand Prix has been announced, and we have got another new character, along with Rillaroo, Chick and Stew, and Yaya Panda. The new character is, he's a homage to Trippo the Hippo or Fasty the Hippo. So Fasty becomes Hasty. And he's really neat looking, and it's cool to see more original characters being brought into this franchise and this game in general. However, we are getting at least 6 more Grand Prix from what I've been reading on the internet, and that's a lot of characters. If they're going to keep adding multiple characters every Grand Prix, that's potentially 5 new characters per 6 new prees, which would make it another 30 characters. 30 characters. That's just insane. No pun intended. And I've been a fan of the series for a long time, and I was trying to think, I was like, how can they possibly get 30 more characters out of the Crash series? They have to scrape the bottom of the barrel if they're going to do 30 more. And I did a little bit of research trying to see how many characters I could come up with, and even then, I think I came with a little over 20. So they'd need to make 10 new characters. So I'm gonna go over who is likely to be coming because of the data mines, and then I'm gonna go over who the internet wants to be here, and then I just went with whoever else I could find. So without further ado, here we go. We already talked about Hasty here. Nina's Nightmare had a picture of Madame Amberly and the twins. So they're very likely to be coming because once the characters teased, like there was banners of Nina and Brio in Cortex Castle, and they're in. Rillaroo was teased in the carnival. We saw him versus Koala Kong, and he's here. So in Nina's Nightmare, we had, like I said, we had Madame Amberly, and we had the evil twins. So the likelihood of them being in is pretty high, in my opinion. And then there was a evil Crash silhouette being shown on the wall when there was lightning strikes. So evil Crash, I also think, is very likely to be coming in the future. And then from the data mines from the past, we had Baby Cortex and Baby Tropy, and as far as I'm aware, Willy Wumpacheeks. So that covers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters that have been implied and leaked. And now that brings me to who the internet wants. Bearminator from Crash Bash. He is the last character from the original PlayStation era that has not been in a kart, a racer character, quote unquote. They would have to scale him down significantly, which they did with Nasty Nork. So it could happen. Farmer Ernest. I see this one a lot. Farmer Ernest is such a minor character. I would be very shocked if he became a racer. He was in one little cutscene, and there was one little mini game you had to play in Crash Twinsanity. But again, I see a lot of people saying, oh, we need to get Farmer Ernest. Rusty Walrus. He is essentially a boulder. It's a chase level. So he's like the boulder, the Triceratops, the giant polar bear. So I mean, if people want Bearminator, I guess they could have a Rusty Walrus too. Which, if Rusty does get into the game, it might be neat seeing a level based around Engine's battleship. And then that brings us to good old Lab Assistant. I found this picture on Google. Clearly it's fake, but I don't know who the original artist is, so sorry that I'm not giving you credit. But I've seen a lot of people want the Lab Assistant. I mean, it would be easy because there's already a lot of models of him. They're various sizes. And then all of his alternate costumes can be all the different costumes that he had throughout the franchise. And then we've got Viscount Devil from Crash Boom Bang. That game was an atrocity, but you know what? I actually liked Viscount. I think he was a neat character. And again, if they wanted to base a track around him, it could have the big super crystal smack dab in the middle with a track based around it. I think it could be neat. But Viscount. And then this one, I've seen people say they want Landshark from the canceled 2010 Crash Landing Racing spin-off game. It's literally just a shark, and he's got a little goatee made of like seaweed or algae. Likelihood of him, very slim. But as far as the characters that people want, I'd prefer him over Farmer Ernest or the Lab Assistants. And then this next one, I 100% don't agree with. The Warthog from Crash Bandicoot 1. I see so many people say they want the Warthog. And you know what? It doesn't have a name. He wasn't in any manuals like Baby T. Like Polar and Purah were characters. And you know what? Let's be honest. Crash Team Racing came out. They were trying to fill out the roster. They had Polar and Purah. They had Fake Crash, who was essentially just a little cameo Easter egg character from Crash Warp. And then they had Penta Penguin from the manga. Like, they were hurting for characters. So they had Polar and Purah. But now, because Baby T has been in the game, I see so many people online saying, oh, we need the Warthog, we need the Warthog. You know what? Polar and Purah are their pets. And Baby T was taken to the present time by Crash at the end of Crash Warped. See him over here? Over there on the right. Baby T is Crash's pet. Polar is Crash's pet. Purah is Coco's pet. And furthermore, there is one Polar, there is one Purah, and the Baby T we see brought to the present time, there is one Baby T. There are multiple Warthogs. And you know what? If people's rationale for wanting the Warthog as a character because you ride on him, what about the little bat character here that you ride on in Crash Bandicoot Purple, Ripto's Rampage? Sorry for the low quality. It was from a Game Boy game. But if you want the Warthog, might as well give us the bat, right? Oh, and there's another character that Crash rides. The Vulture. So let's get the Vulture in a cart too, right guys? No. So anyway, that's all the characters that I've seen from data mines and that people were requesting. And then, like I said, we need more characters if we want to fill out the roster for 6 more Grand Prix. So this is way scraping the bottom of the barrel. But here we go. So I see people saying they want Carbon Crash from was it Crash of the Titans, or I think it was Crash Mind Over Mutant. If you had a player 2, sorry, I don't know which game it was because I never had a player 2. I always played by myself. It was essentially a palette swap of Crash Bandicoot. They made a little short explaining where he came from. Cortex had a machine that cloned Crash essentially, and Crash and Carbon Crash clone more clones. So there's all these different colored Crash clones that exist. People are saying, oh, Carbon Crash would be a cool addition. He's honestly just a palette swap, so at the very least, he might show up as a legendary skin, maybe. Again, sorry for the low quality. It's from a Game Boy. Mega Mix. He was the final boss of the Huge Adventure. He's a combination of Engine, Cortex, Tiny Tiger, and Dingo Dial. Honestly, the best I think he would ever be represented in this game would also be a skin. Maybe for Cortex. That would have been good during the Spooky Grand Prix, but we've already passed that, so who knows? And, Tiki-Mon. He was a boss in Twinsanity. It's not even clear if he was alive before the evil twins were around. They could have brought just a statue to life, or he could have been he could have been a character. But he had one fight and he was gone, and he's never shown up again. So yeah, there's that. And like I said, scraping the bottom of the barrel. Yeah, we got the Pirate Rhino from the High Seas Hijinks level in Crash Twinsanity. High Seas Hijinks? I think that's what it was called. But yeah, it's the Rusty Walrus level. So there's another animal character for you. And we got two more. Oh, three more, my mistake. The Tribesman, one of Papu Papu's grunts, I guess you'd call him. They've got the models for him. He's in the cutscenes and he's in some of the battle arenas. You see him in the background and some of the levels, so he'd be an easy addition. Okay. The Park Drones from Crash Tag Team Racing. If you're going to have the lab assistants, you might as well have the Park Drones. And then, this brings me down to the last character that they could bring from the Crash Bandicoot series. Gurin. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce her name. That is Penta Penguin's girlfriend. So they pulled Penta straight out of the manga back for the original Crash Bandicoot, or Crash Team Racing. So you know what? Maybe they could get Gurin. So let's tally it up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 characters. So, yeah, 21 characters that they could potentially add. They would still need 9 more. So, I'm pretty sure they're going to start making more new characters. Like we got King Chicken and now we got Hasty. So anyway, I hope I educated you guys and showed you some stuff you might not know. And tell me in the comment section, out of the characters that I listed, who are your top 3 that you would want in the game? Me personally, if I had to pick out of everything that I listed, I would probably want Evil Crash, Rusty Walrus, and let's go with Mega Mix, just to be controversial. Okay, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and you take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.